Hi, I'm Komal Sharma and you're listening to the Lounge Podcast, a weekly show that gives you some music, movies, art and culture news. On today's show, we'll be updating you about an upcoming weekend of design that's multidisciplinary, runs across architecture, engineering, products, graffiti, graphic art, organic gourmet food and even art. Works of some of India's new and talented artists and designers from various backgrounds will be showcased. There's Sahil and Sarthak, Srishti Bajaj, Shirley Bhatnagar, Rajat Sodhi, and Martan Khosla. Those are a few participating artists. This is called KONA and it's being held in New Delhi on the 19th and the 20th of January this year. Joining us is Sonia Fatah, one of the organizers of KONA. Sonia has worked as a journalist most of her life. She then went on to found a trust called No Man's Land in 2012, which brings design, dialogue and ideas from South Asian countries to Delhi. Sonia tells us more about KONA and design's cross-disciplinary nature. Hi Sonia, welcome to the Lounge Podcast.
Hi.
So tell us about KONA. What is the idea and the thought behind, putting together a sort of design exhibition?
Well, KONA was born over a period of time out of a sense that there was something missing in terms of creating a design platform for design in India, at least contemporary design. And it seemed like there was a lot happening across the board in various places across the country, but there wasn't really a design language or a sense of how to bring it together. And we looked at what was happening in design in other places across the world, in the East and the West.
Right.
And we felt that there was kind of a missing space in India, and we thought part of it was because there wasn't enough of conversation or discussion around design. So we thought that the platform that KONA could create would help some of that move towards a real movement.
Okay. And, this sort of multidisciplinary, like we are seeing a lot of, actually, I personally think it's a great time for design in India because there are these forums.
Well, one of the things was that we discovered was that, there are people who come from many non-specifically design professions. I guess they are design professions, but they sort of live and exist in vacuums.
Right.
So, we felt that, you have engineers, and we've only tapped the sort of potential of this in terms of, there are engineers across this country who are doing really interesting things in terms of design and who kind of operate at a small little workshop somewhere in some part of the country, and you never know or hear about them because they're kind of just working on their own pieces.
Right.
And we felt that there was a way in which we could allow for people from these various professions to come together and meet each other, and that allowing for that cross interaction to happen would create also a way for design language to move forward.
Right.
So that was one thing. The other thing was that the KONA is a collaboration also with Sivara Hospitality and Trust, and they're in the food and beverages industry, and they're going into organics big time. So at a larger level, we were looking at ways in which how we live, what
Right.
we eat, what we consume, how we think, what products we use reflect the way in which contemporary new urbanites or even people in other parts of the country are beginning to live,
Right.
which is in much more nuclear spaces where what products you use is part of sort of design sensibility or a life sensibility that you have.
Right. So in terms of specifically what to expect, give us a sense of, who are the kind of designers who are coming, or architects even, or what are the kind of workshops? Just briefly, if you could tell us.
Well, in terms of architects, we have an architect by the name of Rajat Sodhi. And Rajat is going to have some paper presentations of his work as well as a visual display of his work. And he's done work all across the world. He's, exhibited his work in China at the Shanghai Art Biennial, in Milan, and he's done a lot of public artwork. So creating space for design and people in the center of London. And he tried to do this in India by working with, the municipal corporations in Delhi, etc., but had very little luck in terms of, that falling into the bureaucracy. So we felt that Rajat's work is really quite different and innovative, and we thought it would be really interesting to have him talk about it and show some of visual presentations of his work.
Right. So this is from the 18th to the 20th Jan in Jorbagh, Delhi. That's right?
Yes, it's a number 1 Jorbagh market,
Okay.
which is double sort of story space. And the idea is that in a year or when we do, we're doing this as a pop-up,
Right.
largely to explore its viability.
Okay. So you
We
plan
want
to
to see how
sort of
this
make it a
works,
more
and if
permanent.
it works, then we would create a long-term house for KONA
Okay.
and for a platform for design in that space.
In that space.
There's also going to be an organic, fresh foods kind of space downstairs. And
Okay.
so the space will move into something that represents that kind of multidisciplinary work in its entirety in terms of a place where you can eat, you can hear a really interesting presentation or a discussion, see some live. For example, one of our shows, we have several shows of live graffiti, which is also part of a certain kind of street art movement, in India
Okay.
right now.
All right. Sounds like a lot of things are going on up there.
A lot of things happening,
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for speaking
Thank
to
you,
us, Sonia.
Komal. Appreciate it, yeah?
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Sonia. KONA is happening at 1 Johar Bagh, New Delhi on the 19th and 20th of January 2012. For more information, you can log on to thekonapopup.wordpress.com. So that's all we have for you this week. Thanks for listening in, and do write to us at feedback@livemint.com. Bye-bye.